Hey guys, Sam Smyers here. So I wanted to go over how to start with a 4 bar loop of something, 4 to 8 bar loop, and turn that into a full track. A lot of times you'll find something that's cool and you'll make some chords and then you'll wonder, where do I go from this? And how do I make a 2.5, 3.5, 4 minute song from this loop? A lot of times people will take that loop and they'll just put that for the whole track and that'll be the whole track, but it's just all about changing different things, building it up, filtering things off, creating drops, creating moments, and just creating lots of ear candy. So first I'm gonna start off just showing you how I think about a track and how I structure it. Then we'll go into how to actually put the whole thing together and produce it, and then going into like the songwriting and doing all the lyric stuff, and then we'll go into some vocal production stuff. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to be using my song Want You, which I released on Spotify, Apple Music, it's on YouTube, and this is going to be the reference song. I'll show you how I started it because I just used a 4 chord progression. I played it on guitar. They're like bar chords. The way I did it was pretty interesting. I will play the progression. So that is the chord progression. It's D minor, B flat major, F major, and then it shortly goes to a G minor. And the way that I did this is, instead of actually playing it, I recorded each note individually and then stacked them and copy and pasted them to make it sound like I was playing guitar. So there you can hear the low note and the high note together, and I did it on the left side and right side. And I did that because when you actually play guitar, you'll get string noises and fret noises and sliding noises, especially with bar chords. And if you're trying to get a really clean guitar sound, which is what this is, then sometimes it can be a lot easier to like cheat it, basically, because like, you get this like really clean sound. So you start with that, and maybe you have a chord progression, you have a beat, you have some drums, and you have to figure out how do I get this short progression into a full song. Then this is what I do, is I'll find another song that is similar in tempo and genre and vibe, and drop that into my session and start going through that song and labeling all the different sections. So let's say, for example, you drop my song Want You into your section, the full track, and this is the stereo track right here. So what I'll start doing is I'll use these markers and I'll start marking it. So right here is the intro to the track. When that kick comes in, it goes into the verse. So I marked it verse 1. Right here, this is Command R to relabel. Pre-chorus 1. That is going to be the chorus 1. I can love who I want you. And that's going to be the drop. So what I'll do is I'll chop these sections up. So I'll Command E, because I want to change the colors of these sections. And so you can see I've already done it for the whole track, for the rest of the track. Okay. Now once you have the whole track set up like that, I'll usually keep the same colors for each section. So the verses, I'll have the same color, the chorus is the same color, the drops the same color. So now I can see the whole thing set out, and I can see, okay, here's the intro, here's the chorus, and here's the pre-chorus. So whenever I'm structuring out my song now, I can know when to change things in the track while keeping the progression the same. So this is the verse for me.
Hearing your voice makes everything alright. I will no longer feel like the broken-hearted.
Chord's the same. I just add in some more drum things and some percussion, and the vocals change.
One that I wanted, one that I wanted. I can love who I want, I don't.
Chord's the same. I just change the guitar and piano to some bass and an arpeggio synth, and change the vocals.
Love who I want, love who I want you.
Drop, same chord progression. I just change the instruments. I have this big bass, big kick, big percussion noises, big synth lead noise, and some percussion things. And then once I get up to that drop, then what happens is I just repeat it. Repeat the sections.
Say what is true.
And usually for the second verse from the first verse, you usually can change little things. So in this second verse, I have a kick and that click from the drum.
Say what is true. Love like red.
Whereas in the first verse, I don't have it. And I might add in some extra harmonies the second time in the second verse, just to keep it a little bit different.
Now than when I started, you're the only one. You're the only one. You're the only one. The one that I wanted. The one that I wanted.
So I add in some extra little ear candy in this second pre-chorus. Now, there's a little break right here before I get into the bridge.
All my dreams came true. I can be with you. You're all.
Same chords, just changing up the instruments a little bit. And then this end part, which is like a hook slash drop, I have the hook vocals over the drop instruments to make it really big.
Good, good, so good. Yeah, I can love who I want. I don't need a reason. Love who I want. Love who I want. I want you. I can love who I want.
And that is another way to keep it interesting instead of going back into the drop part with that synth lead part. I go into the drop with the hook, and so it just changes up the ending a little bit. So you could do this to another song, whichever, drop a song into your session that has a similar vibe to your song, structure it out like this, mark it up, put the colors, put this at the top of your section, do this at the top, and then just take your 4 chords, start structuring them out, and then maybe you'll add some drums here, maybe you'll add some bass here, maybe this is where you drop everything out, filter it out, then you get to the drop part. And so this is a easy way just to get that idea down, because you just want to get it down as fast as possible and then edit from there. You don't want to edit, you don't want to start editing and making everything sound like perfect in the beginning. A lot of times you can have a good small idea and then kind of get stuck. So this is just a way to really get the whole idea down and get a demo finished that is a full length, and then you can go back and tweak things as you go along and once you get the vocals. And so that is the first step to turn that progression 4-bar loop, 8-bar loop into a full track.